Hello, just a little impromptu video. I just love the way things come together. I had a dream last night, and whilst I don't remember really anything about the dream, the location reminded me of a place I refer to as like a leper colony, a homeless unit I stayed at for about a year. It was actually 1 year, 1 month, and 9 days, which gives a 119. Make of that what you will. But whilst it was completely different in the dream, the location sort of reminded me of this place in this dream. And I thought, well, we won't try and think it and what does this dream mean, because I'm sure the answers will come. And sure enough, they have. So a little backstory. I don't know if you have seen the Archaix video recently. I think it's called 649 images that show that petrification is quite an instant process. And then from conversations and pondering about rock, it sort of reminded me that at that time in that location in Scotland, I actually made a video called Stone, Bone and Petrification. One of the big takeouts of that, out of that, and this is really the reason, or one of the reasons I'm making this video, because I feel it may help one of you out there. It was something that was suggested to me: get yourself a piece of amber. Well, the closest I'd got, I'm not even sure if it is amber now, looking at it again. It's more sort of crystallized with a sort of amber sort of colour to it. But at that time I had that sort of raging toothache where if you even anything touched the gum, it was like an electric shock. And it was suggested to hold a piece of amber against it. So effectively all I did, not against the gum, but just on the side of the face, and that pain just dissolved in a split second. I thought that was incredible. There's energy, because there is life in these rocks. Because from what I can see, the conclusions after watching the Archaix video is what exactly is rock, and it does seem to be just a soup of living organic material which obviously holds an energy. There's such things as crystal healing, which a lot of people will dismiss and call it woo-woo, but my own testimony, just from doing this with this amber-coloured piece of rock, I'll just show you closer. It's one of those sort of mysteries. It's like, how did it get like that? What actually formed it, and so on? We'll probably never know. It will remain a mystery, but that definitely works for toothache. If you just hold a piece of amber, or even something that looks like amber, it seems to work. So I thought I'd share that as a testimony. Also, on the subject of mysteries, the members only section of this channel, which you won't see the little logo because it's like chasing a carrot on the stick with YouTube. I don't really want to go down the route towards monetization for the channel anyway, but the membership will certainly help me to put food on the table. It is really my only source of income, is through YouTube and various people's generosity in sending donations, and I'm very grateful for that. But effectively the members only side is a modern day mystery school in more than one sense, because the way it's constructed, it won't have a centre, so it will remain a mystery. It's not designed that I'm at the top and you have to listen to everything I preach. It's more to assemble the creators, the co-creators, the artists and the teachers of the future that will be needed for a lot of humanity that will survive this apocalypse. Because the question is, do you want to experience an apocalypse, or do you want to be equipped with the tools that you have inside you that just need unlocking, so you witness an epoch collapse? So contact me initially by email or through WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or Telegram, and then we can go from there. I also offer various other things like Reiki healing, 7-card one-to-one tarot readings, and counselling if you're struggling in any way. A lot of it is on personal experience, and I'm building up a portfolio. It's come on, universe, what's the next challenge? Because I've overcome panic attacks, I've overcome anxiety, I've overcome depression, I've overcome a hernia recently. I'm able to experience these things that would seem to be negative. And now the way the mind works is to, what's the lesson in this? Because I know something beautiful is going to come out of it, and it always does. So the members only side is to sort of help you unlock the gifts that you have inside you. It's effectively, as an analogy, it's restoring factory settings on a cell phone or a computer or whatever, because cell phones and computers, like so much else in this reality, is, if you look at the pattern of the things, they are based on human physiology. If you consider the way, if you do a power off or a reset on a cell phone, the light goes out, as it were, where the screen shuts down, and there's still things working in the background that you can't see. Same as with the processes of going through the threshold between life and death. The physical body has a shutdown process inside it that takes about 3 days in its disintegration process. But obviously a reset is slightly different, because things come back to life again. And this is what the members only side is about. It's about the great reset inside yourself to unlock those gifts that you have inside you. Many will say, what's my purpose? I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. Well, it may be that the circumstances haven't arisen yet. It may be that you're just not aware that they're already there. Who knows? But we can certainly help you unlock those and open up a whole new perspective on this world. And perspective is very much how things work in this external reality. Consider, example, health service. Now, most people will just readily assume that that is referring to your physical or mental health. But I would suggest it's more to do with the health of the profit margins of the business in sickness. Likewise, the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. But what is it the centre of? Is it just the centre of the United States, or is it the centre of a worldwide intelligence agency? Same as terms like for security reasons or in interests of national security. Well, whose security are we talking about here? Same with health and safety. On the surface level, yes, it does seem to make sense, but start looking a little bit deeper into these things and you start to see a different picture emerge. So the terminology is there in plain sight, but can we see it? Also with this petrification process, it's right in front of your eyes, as I said in this video, stone, bone and petrification. I'll put a link in the description. It was about 2.5 years ago that I made this video, where I feature not just this rock, but several other ones, including what looks to be very much like probably a human bone. Considering it more, it seemed to only have one sort of part where the sinews and things would have attached. So I would suggest it's probably where it would join the shoulder. But check the video out, and also leading on from that, if you follow the links in the description, you'll find a link to a video on Mother Shipton's cave, which shows petrification today still exists, and it still happens over a very short space of time. Not exactly the same as creating fossils, but to understand all about that, I refer you to the Archaix video on that, and I'll put a link in the description for that one as well. But I thought this is beautiful, the way this is all unfolded. Having this dream, which was like almost a reminder of this video that I'd made 2.5 years ago, and how it's still relevant, and the whole subject of petrification is sort of back on the table, as it were. This landscape all around here, it's just rich in iron and red clay, and looking at it where you've got the exposed sort of, shall we say, cliff faces, as it were, it does look like a mishmash of what was probably living material at one time, and still contains an energy. And I feel that is why anything like this for toothache will work, because it still holds an energy that you can draw upon, and it will draw out that awful pain sensation when the gums are so sensitive you can't bear anything touching them. This worked in a flash. That was a beautiful thing, and it may be one of you that listens to this video, that may be just what you need to hear right now. So that's one of the reasons I'm making this video. The other reason, of course, is because I do rely solely on either donations or people taking up the offer of the various things that I can offer them. So there's two reasons for making this video all in one. But that's the thing with everything. There is always more than one reason why certain events happen and things. There's an assassination that I'm fed up of seeing all these headlines and things about, because I just look at the word Kirk and think of Star Trek, to boldly go where no man has gone before. And that's all I take from that, because it is saying to the world, you're without a captain. You're not in control of your vessel. You're allowing emotions to take over, because you're falling into the trap of picking a side. Because there's plenty of videos that are saying it's genuine, others are saying that it's fake. But it's all getting involved in the details rather than looking at the story and what can you take from the story. You could also say the name Charles. It could be likened to in the UK, what often happens, you have a long reigning female monarch, i.e. Queen Victoria and then Queen Elizabeth. That is followed by a Prince of Wales who is rather elderly and is a weak king, that follows a long reign by a female monarch. So you've got something shown just in that, but there are other things that all come out of this. Those strange coincidences on a distance between, I think it's 2 Masonic lodges, and where this event took place, and they happen to be 66.6, I can't even remember if it's yards or whatever from that site. That's I can't remember the name of the channel, but I just happened to see that was mentioned, and I thought, well, that doesn't surprise me. But I don't go any further into that, and that's all I'm going to say on that topic. It's a Dead Sea Scroll. It's yeah, seen that. Move on. And more focus on how the things, what am I importing that is, and how is it affecting me? Is it disrupting my life? Is it distracting me from finding things that are far more beneficial, like how to cure toothache in one easy go, and at least take the incredible pain away. So if you have got toothache, get yourself a piece of amber, put it against the affected area, obviously just gently, and go through the experience, see if it works for you. So with that, I think we'll leave that there. We're already up to 15 minutes. I don't want to make this too long. I've still got watering to do. Gone back into a sort of a bit of a heat wave this week here in the Algarve in Portugal. So as always, I'm going to say unconditional love to you all.